How's it going, everyone? Today I'll be going through the basic steps of changing the Suzuki Kizashi's CVT transmission fluid. Please note, this tutorial is very rough. Do not expect a scientific level of accuracy. Also, I am not a professional, just a basic, so-called backyard mechanic with basic tools. Also, we will not be changing any filters. I just didn't have time for it, unfortunately. Finally, I don't understand how a reviewer or reviewers think the name Kizashi reminds them of a sneeze. Makes no sense. Also, makes no sense to me how Kizashi is difficult to pronounce. Give me a break, people. Kizashi, it's easy. It's not like the Volkswagen SUV Touareg, and reviewers have no trouble with that name. Double standards. Anyhows, let's move on. Step 1. Lift up your Kizashi. Wow, that wasn't so difficult to say. Kizashi. Get the two wheels up, or all four. We need to work under the... How do you say it? Kazumba? Is that how you say it? Kazushi? Oh my god, so difficult. I can't pronounce it. I can totally empathize with those reviewers. Step number 2. There may be a plastic panel next to the front left wheel, or the previous owner may have lost it and you may not have one. Take it off if you have it. There are 7 screws. What size? I don't know. I forgot. I warned you that this guide won't have a scientific level of accuracy. Just fiddle around with your sockets until you find one that fits. Take that panel off and you'll be greeted with the CVT automatic transmission pan. Please analyze the photo if you want to, but you can't miss the big hex bolt. Step number 3. Unbolt that big hex bolt / nut. Are they equivalent? Anyhow, this will release the CVT fluid in the pan. Note: you may need an extension bar to unbolt it. Also, remember to have a catch pan ready for the transmission fluid. Step number 4. The CVT fluid will drip for a very long time. When you feel like you've had enough, screw the bolt back on and wipe the area clean. Note: I waited for about 15 minutes for it to drain, and by that point it was still dripping continuously. Also, when screwing back the bolt, you may want to replace the washer. Personally, I didn't, and it was fine. Step number 5. Note roughly how much CVT fluid was drained. You will need to replenish your car with the new CVT fluid with roughly the same amount that came out. For me, this was around 4.5 liters, or 4.75 quarts if that makes sense to you. Step number 6. Lower your car. You don't really need to do it at this stage in my opinion, but probably easier to do it now. Step number 7. Open your bonnet and take out the orange dipstick that's near the front of the car to reveal the transmission oil intake hole thing. Then stick a funnel into that hole. Step number 8. Get your new CVT oil and pour in the same amount that you drained out into the funnel. Note: you must use the correct CVT transmission fluid. For Suzuki Kizashi, the correct fluid is called Suzuki CVT Green 1. I am personally using this one called Penrite CVT Fluid V or 5, full synthetic auto trans fluid because it meets the Suzuki CVT Green 1 standard. If you can't find a CVT fluid that meets the Suzuki CVT Green 1 standard, you can also use one that meets the more common Nissan NS2 standard because they are apparently equivalent. Do your research, but that's what my research found. The Nissan NS2 standard is equivalent to Suzuki CVT Green 1 standard. Note: this CVT fluid by Penrite is red. Step number 9. After pouring, start up your car and ensure that the handbrake is engaged. With your foot on the brake. Move the gear shifter from P to R. Wait 10 seconds, then to N. Wait 10 seconds, then to D. Wait 10 seconds, then back up to N. Wait 10 seconds, then to R. Wait 10 seconds. Then to P, wait 10 seconds. Step number 10. Many tutorials suggest you to go out and recheck the transmission dipstick to ensure that the level of transmission fluid is correct. I personally think that it should be correct because you've just replaced the drained amount, so it should be correct. Check it if you want, but yeah, nah, it'll be fine. Step 11. Clean up the area. Make sure the area is free of oil and dispose of old CVT fluid responsibly. Step number 12. Drive around. Get your Kizashi to operating temperature. When you get back, check for any leaks. If there are leaks, your CVT drain bolt may not be tight enough, so tighten it. That is all. Thank you very much. And as you can see, it's not a very difficult procedure. If you can change the engine oil, you shouldn't have any problems changing your CVT fluid.